Good evening, ladies and gents, and we begin our haunted tour of Rye, just by St Mary's Church. A man murdered another man in this church, or churchyard, mistakenly thinking it was someone else, and the man who murdered was himself hung in that spot. So we'll be going into the churchyard. In a minute. Let me know if you hear, see or spot anything. It is bitterly cold, I must admit. You know what I mean? Okay. That's the old water cistern. Old cobble street we're walking down. That's the old pump, water pump. Quality should get a bit better from now on because we're a bit near lighting. It's the perfect time. One, it gives you a nighttime aspect of Rye, and two, it is pretty haunted, particularly in Mermaid Street and the churchyard. We're looking at Simon the Pieman here. Our Simon is currently asleep with the boys. It's just me and Rob on this one. That's the old town hall. Simon the Pieman. That takes you down onto the main high street. There isn't very much of historical stuff down that way, but in here they do the most delightful, I will use the appropriate word for it, delightful rum truffles. Oh my god. And they're about the size of your fist. Oh, they're like a cakey, doughy, chocolatey thing. Oh, Simon the Pieman. And 11:30. Yeah, we should be going in there tomorrow. So that'll be perfect. John Fletcher was born in this house. Jacobean dramatist, collaborator with Beaumont, Shakespeare and Massinger. Can't put the flash thing on too much because it will arouse suspicion, although we're not doing anything wrong. Do not want the police spoiling the last day of our holiday. Right, this is St Mary's Church, and I'm just going to check the opening times. Hopefully we may hear the bells ring tomorrow, so we'll see. Yeah. Is that prettiest? Whew. Make me jump then. Sometimes there's a light on here, but unfortunately it's not on. So we will have to resort to our flash. I'm not smoking, but that's probably mist, because it's breath. Look, it's really cold. Oh gosh, look, the seagulls have been everywhere. Let me know if you spot anything. Oh, I saw that, and that wasn't breath. Probably an insect. I hope it was anyway. That's my breath, it's okay. That's the main door. Here was a door originally, and on the inside there's a holy water stoop, and there's a little card. Anyone that's watched my thing will see that. It tells you it's when people used to come in and they'd touch the holy water stoop and be reminded of their christening or their baptism. This stone marks the probable site of the old cross used for mayoral elections between 1289 and 1602, each Sunday next after the feast of St Bartholomew on the 24th of August. So St Bartholomew's feast is, or St Bartholomew's Day is obviously the 24th of August. Alright. Sweet. We won't tell him, and he's not on Facebook, so he won't see this. But our Simon, and he wouldn't like it to be said, is a little bit scared of ghosty stuff. So his thing was, it's going to turn the flash off a minute, guys. It's going to go and past some cars and it's going to look dodgy. His excuse was, I'm really tired and we're off tomorrow, aren't we? So me and the boys will have an early night. But you and Rob can go and do your thing. One of the old gravestones from the 1600s there. You'll see in the back of the old water cistern. Flying buttresses these are. Those cars must belong to the church people, or unless they let people park in there, mayhap. Right. Now we're going to go, not all the way around again, but back through the churchyard quickly, and then down the old streets. How's that for a door knocker? Visitors welcome at all services. What a beautiful and charming place. It's lovely, isn't it, here? Now we'll go back through the churchyard. Then I'm going to take you down a little cobbled street and onto the haunted parts, which is Mermaid Street. I'm not live, I'm pre-recording, so I can pause. I've learned how to pause now. My technological skill isn't great, but young Master Coston has helped out quite a lot, so Simon made me laugh the other day though. He went, "You'll be bored now without your editing to do." He went, "Believe it or not," he went, "he enjoys doing all that." I went, "Really?" I went, "I thought I was getting on his nerves." He went, "No." So, I'll send you some occasionally. Yeah. That's where we were. We went from there down there. We was at the castle. Lovely old Tudor house, look. This one. This one here. No, it's this one here, that's the one. This one here is known as the Plague House, because when the Great Plague visited Rye in 1665, and it was one of the first places, like London in England, that the plague hit. It's a big seaport, it's Rye. The whole family got it, and in those days they locked the house up with everyone inside for 40 days, and if anyone survived at the end of it, they came out, and only one survivor came out, the son. And I was reading about it the other day, they think he may have been immune to flea bites like Samuel Pepys, because Samuel Pepys notes it in his diaries that when he went in what we'd call a B&B, guest house, a lodging house, as a single man. In those days, if you were a single man, you'd be expected to share a bed with a stranger, another single man, which he did. And he noted in his diaries that all the fleas went to him and not to me. Yeah. So that's pretty. Yeah, I think it's and people today, a lot of us, they think may be resilient to the plague because our ancestors were. So if you don't get bitten by gnats, fleas, ticks, lice, anything like that, you'll be a good to go. I would have been a goner, and so would my dad, because gnats, they bite me immediately. And on the one occasion that we did have fleas, years ago with one of our cats, they bit me and my dad's ankles to shreds, literally. So it wasn't fun. Over on Churchyard Wall. That's where we've just come from. You see how cold it is? It's very, very cold. Hope you're all enjoying the haunted tour. It's mainly not haunted really, it's although this place is very haunted. Watch out for where we are from now, keep watching out, because this is the notorious area. It's mainly just, I like to give aspects of places at night time and daytime, and this is beautiful enough in the day, but it takes on a different atmosphere at night. Not unpleasant, not in the least ways unpleasant, but edgy, shall we say. Here is the Lamb House, where a poet lived, or several poets and novelists actually. If you watch back my videos, you'll see that in the daytime one, Mermaid Street. That was there. That's the plaque on the wall. Lamb House. Now we're coming down towards Mermaid Street. It's alright, mate, I won't get you in, it's alright. Here we are is Mermaid Street now. We're looking at Mermaid Street there, which we're going to be going down in a second. This takes you onto the high street, as I say. Now we go down Mermaid Street. No worries, mate. Alright. Now we're coming up to the Mermaid Inn. Mermaid Street was the notorious haunt of the Hawkshurst Gang. So we may come into one of the Hawkshurst boys. They're ghosts. This street, as beautiful as it is nowadays, in those days was a no-go area. And this is called the house opposite. Because the mermaid was so well known, that this house is opposite the mermaid. What a beautiful place, look. Even at night time it's amazing. And very haunted apparently. Very haunted. There's one room in there. Anyone that wants to watch that particular ghosty stuff about this place, watch Goes to Britain, Michaela Strachan. And she visited this place in that programme. And they tell you about how haunted Mermaid Street is. We've covered a lot of the locations now, but it may well be a two-part, if you don't mind. Be a one-part on YouTube, so I'll share the link. Lovely houses, so quaint. Yeah. Quaint and charming. Oh, I've got blisters on me blisters. Oh, as Margie said to us, "Oh, your fates, they must be bleeding roaring," but in a slightly Kent accent. Shouldn't they must be roaring? All that walking. Brian, her son, went, "Don't nag 'em, Mum." She went, "No, I'm not nagging them." She went, "It's good to see young people out doing stuff, not on their phones all day long." She went, "Although you do enough of that of an evening, don't you?" Hartshorn House. This was the former hospital in Rye. Fuck. Yeah. Okay. Well, if that was any ghost or spirit person, please show yourself again where you just... I saw something out the corner of my eye. That's my breath, guys and girls. Probably a trick of the light. I thought I saw something out the corner of my eye. And I was told not to mention the name of the gang down here too much. They don't like it. They do not like to be known. They don't like being known by strangers. Oh, how charming. In the old days, I mean, this is a very select street now. One of the properties on this would set you back an absolute fortune. But in the old days, these are like little fishermen's cottages and things like that, and you had the Mermaid Inn, which is where the gang ran from. And you took your life into your own hands going down this street at night time. That's how bad it was. Because it weren't just that gang, it was highwaymen and pickpockets. A notorious den of thieves and varlets was Oh, I heard it described. I read it described, sorry. Right. We are now at the bottom of Mermaid Street, so I will pause you quickly in a minute. This down here, oh, let's show you this. This is a nice little curiosity, this one. It is going to be a two-parter, guys and girls, so you're going to be in it to win it or not. Oh, wrong street. Wrong street. Here he comes, old laughing boy. We're doing kind of two separate investigations. He's tagging along just behind me and looking at things that he finds interesting too. Let's put my flash off now. But yeah, as I say, Mermaid Street is meant to be very, very haunted. It was on Michaela Strachan on Ghosts of Britain, the ancient Mermaid Inn. This is Rye pottery, and all this stuff's handmade. And when I came here the first time, I got my parents a little set of statues. They were monks, but these are the ones I really like. Look, because it's all Battle of Hastings related. They're really good, aren't they? There we are. Rye pottery. And it's been here since established in 1793. But yeah, they've got some lovely stuff. And believe it or not, it isn't as expensive as you would think. So, yeah. You would think walking past it, that's going to be pricey. But no, it's not too bad. We're at 22 minutes at the moment. And this is the old Borough Arms. This is a B&B, this part here. And that's an ice cream parlour, that bit there. And they do the nicest chocolate ice cream and the nicest lemon ice cream you will see. This is where everyone has their pictures taken. The old red telephone box. Right, guys and girls, I'm going to pause you now because I'm going to the town gate, and this is through the modern bit of the town. We'll get you to 30 minutes and then we'll start part 2 when we get to the town gate. Yeah, it's been a really nice holiday. We all enjoyed it. Saying that, Simon and the boys were knackered. He was nearly falling asleep, he was. And they've got a long drive tomorrow, haven't they? Doing that bit. Roberto has found something of interest. That's Miller's cottage. I don't know if it's haunted or not, but he loves cottages and he likes that one anyway. He's taken pictures of it a couple of times, so Rob's into his editing his life, according to Rob. I can get to 35 minutes and no more. Because it mutes the sound after that, which is exceptionally aggravating. And that noise that you can hear in the background that sounds like a big gang of people is not, it's the seagulls And I know it sounds a cliche because they are animals, but they are animals, absolute barbarians. And here, Marino's Fish Bar is where you get an absolutely gorgeous bit of cod or a plaice. What was it Rob had and Simon had? Oh god, I can't remember that one. That's shaped like a harp. No, they had different to me. I had cod. So many bric-a-brac shops here. Full of nice things as well, and reasonably priced. When I was younger, I used to do eBay, but they made it so difficult for people now that I no longer do eBay. But this would, if that was still feasible, eBay, this would be the ideal place to live. It would be absolutely perfect because there's literally 6 or 7 bric-a-brac shops, and they get new stuff in all the time and reasonably priced. A couple of them are open tomorrow morning, and I'll be getting up early, which the crew don't really tend to do that. They don't like early. And yeah, that's another one. Leads up into the high street. Built on cliffs is Rye, so it's quite steep. And we've noticed our ribs are aching. And our legs. 27, we're not doing too bad actually. Gonna put the flash off. That's it. We'll be going past the police station soon. And we do not wish to arouse their attention. Because we're up to something later, hopefully. Well, after this. But I don't know yet. Rob's going to meet me at the viewing platform. This one here, and I've done it dozens of times but never captured anything. This is known as Haunted Alley. And I've never ever captured a single thing down it, or up it, or through it. But that takes you up into the high street. And apparently several murders took place right in the dead middle of that alleyway, and they were a bit gruesome. One was a woman, and she was known as Sarah. I think her name was Sarah. It was Jefferson or Jefferson, something like that. And she was mostly mutilated. Not like it wasn't a Jack the Ripper thingy. He didn't do that. But yeah, it was similar. This was in the 1700s, by the way. Let's turn that flash back off. So many nice, because this town although it's lovely and picturesque and seems miles away from London, this got bombed quite badly during the war. Right, so quite a few of the buildings are post-war replacements. That takes you down to the train station, that one. That's not particularly much down there. And we haven't even had to put the tents up tonight, because when we used to stay with Fred and Marge, they had an old brick. It used to be the laundry house or the wash house in Fred's grandmother's and great grandmother's day, and Marge, bless her, literally scrubbed it clean, and they painted it. And when we went to stay with them, like, because we like the wild camping thing, and they're brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Fred was, he's gone with it, he's gone now, but Marge are like absolutely brilliant. But I don't think they'd like the idea of us all sleeping in the house, all young blokes and kids and a lot of noise and whatnot, which is quite understandable. So yeah, but they did that for us because we was going to be camping, and then it rained, and they said, oh, why don't you come in here and whatnot. And we went, no, it's alright, because at that time it was me, Stephen, Simon and Simon's boys, and they was young at the time, so noisy. And it's like, yeah, it's alright, but bless them, but it's alright. And yeah, that's what they did, the old wash house. And in the middle, in the corner of it, it had a copper that used to boil up the water. And this little copper thing, it had a fire thing underneath that you lit to boil up the copper, and a little chimney at the back. And that's how we kept ourselves warm and whatnot in there. It did like a little fire under it. All the smoke went out through the flue, and it was really, really nice. It was really nice. She brought us out roast dinners and everything. We had a nice dinner with them today, well, this afternoon. And then off out for a bit of fish and chips, although I only have fish. I couldn't eat the chips as well, it'd be too much for me. I don't eat a great deal. But yeah, so it's the van. Oh look, £195. Oh, that's not too dear really, considering the size of it. I think it's a lamp. Candle with its two fingers up, that's quite funny. There's everything in Rye Town, something for everyone. This is one of my little favourite shops here. You'll see in another one in a minute where I went today. And I bought myself, I know it's naughty, 500 grams of aniseed balls, 200 grams of nut brittle, and 500 grams of cherries and raspberries, because you can't get them up London, all these old-fashioned sweets. So I'm well stocked up for about a month now. Not till September, but about a month. This shop hasn't changed for years, and I mean years and years. It's opened in the 1950s, and it's called Adams. Printers, confectioners, stationers, they do everything, and it's on several floors. We wanted a windbreak the other day. They had a windbreak, they had windbreaks, but some of the they sell ornaments and knickknacks, but really decent quality stuff. There's still some cheap stuff as well. But look, all ready for the Queen's Jubilee. We're coming up to our 35 minutes in a sec, guys, so I will stop that, and we're nearly at our viewing point anyway. And that is the other side of one of the alleyways. I can't remember what's it called. Conduit Hill, because the old water pipes ran down that way, and that's where, not murders down that one, but a lot of people used to have their pockets picked. Here we are. That is Britcher and Privers, which is an old English sweet shop. They literally do every type of sweet you could want, and I mean every type of sweet. Luke spent £31 in there. Another shop I like. Absolutely full of crystals and fossils and beautiful things. That's nice. But the £800. That's a lot of money, isn't it? I made them all laugh the other day. I'll show you this quickly. Radcliffe Hall novelist lived here. I made them all laugh the other day. I looked at something in the window and I went, my, that does look expensive. And they laughed. They went, where did you get that from? I went, Auntie Wainwright from Last of the Summer Wine. Right, we're nearly at our 35 minutes, guys and girls. See you all in the next part. Good evening, everyone. I wasn't sure if it was recording then. You're back for part 2 now. How's everybody doing? It's a damn fine show. That's it, going to focus. And this is a steep drop down this this road, and this takes us to the land gate. It's the only surviving medieval gate of the town of Rye. It had several. Very similar to the curfew tower at Barking, which you'll have seen from my previous recordings. Right. Flash off for the moment. Kids enjoyed themselves at the fun fair, and they are knacked. Well asleep by the time we left. Simon was like proper monging out as well. He's like, I'm knackered, but we still think that he was slightly scared. In the old days, and this happened to one of my own medieval ancestors at Winchelsea, which is near Rye, he was a knight, and in the Civil War, First Civil War, the English Civil War, Stephen and Empress Maud, or Matilda sometimes they call her, my ancestor was on the wrong side. He was a sheriff, you see, and he was executed. And at Winchelsea Town Gate, which is very similar to this one, we saw it on my bus journey the other day, they stuck his head up on a spike, which wasn't very kind of them, was it? We are at yonder town gate now. This ancient monument was built in 1329 when Edward III made grants for further fortifying of the town, and of the 4 gateways built, this is the only existing one. It has a chamber above the arch and 2 towers. There were gates, a portcullis and a drawbridge. Sorry guys and girls, it's dark and I can't see too well. This camera is absolutely excellent for its filming quality, but trust me, it sees a lot better than I can. That's obviously one of the chambers in there. And that's one of the other ones in there. Oh, we've even got a creepy owl noise. This is where the portcullis would have been. Gosh, I'm cold. And with our new outhouse type thing, which is much more modern than the old one, it's actually quite pleasant. It's got a little shower in there as well, and a toilet, because the place that they bought when the farm went, they sold the money up, bought a little bungalow, little small holding, a plot of land. Brian, who's Fred and Margie's son, and little Brian, who's their grandson, they did a lot of work on the boats for years anyway, so that's their main source of income. But they've always had a farm of some kind or description in their family, so that's what they did, and that's where we're staying. Anyway, a couple of the outbuildings, I always waylay myself, a couple of the outbuildings they're having converted into chalets. Our one is pretty much staying as it is. And they've actually, he went, no, we didn't do too much with it, mate. We didn't just run a broom through. You can tell they've done it up quite pleasantly in there. It's really nice actually. And to keep ourselves warm, because we haven't got the copper or a chimney in there, we use disposable barbecues. Put it outside the door till all the smoke and shit goes away when you first light it. And yeah, disposable barbecues. I should like to see inside there. I'll inquire next time I'm here, which will be in September, hopefully. Right, everyone. I shall pause you in a minute. We'll stop here and then do a merge, because I've got to wait for Rob. And he's like me, he finds something that interests him and he gets waylaid. And he's at his favourite cottage. Alright, okay, I'm going to stop this one and start you all again soon. hopefully. That's if we can get in. If not, then this is the end of it. I'm not taking any risks. Take care all. See you all soon. Evening, ladies and gents. And we're in. These windows, where the newer bricks are, this area was used in the Second World War in Rye, because it looks right out onto the Romney Marsh and right out to sea. And someone said to me that once upon a time it went a lot further along, but it's bricked off now. But yeah, not much down here now, but it's interesting. Little piece of history. And we've even been given a new piece of board to cover that back up with. So, torch off. Oh, for a minute. And look, this is a lookout point above and below in the wall. Would have been for the soldiers. Interesting. And it's right underneath this, which is what I showed you in the daytime and said it may crop up again later. And in those days, there's trees you won't see, it's pitch black dark, but there's trees right over in the park that are really tall. They wouldn't have been there then. And you can see right out onto the Romney Marsh. And even in the town here, where there's a fair bit of light, you can see every bit. Yeah, go on, mate. Are you ready to do it now? Yeah? Sweet, sweet. I'll wait here. Cool. Captain Roberto. He's gone to have a look at this now. We do things, I'll do it on my own first, and then he'll go in after. One can look out, warn the other one. So, apparently, because it was quite far underground there, this used to go underneath here. It's been bricked off, but I can't see that because these shops do have cellars, and I don't see how that would have been allowed. But yeah, you've got one of the talking telescopes here. This wasn't the one I used. The one I used earlier was by Rye Castle. Look, and you get a gorgeous view. You won't see it. They're pictures. I took some nice pictures of this spot earlier. Can't see it now, but all there where I'm pointing is the town and the castle, all on the cliffs. Why don't people put their damned rubbish away? Right, I'm going to pause you now, guys and girls, until Mr. Roberto is done, and then we'll carry back on. Alright, see you all in a minute. Hello everyone, that's explored. We both found that interesting. Might not be interesting to some, but it's a little piece of our history, isn't it? It's the English sweet shop. You'll join us back on our walk to the church. I was just trying to get something. You'll join us back on our walk to the church, and then we'll end the video there. We'll walk on the opposite side of the street now, because I'm that way, you see. I like to be awkward. And I must have done some weight, because my trousers are falling down, and Rob's just complained about the same things. Had to tighten his tracky bottoms up. I said, it's all the walking we've done, mate. That's what Marge said to us. Shall we go down haunted alley? Yeah, sod it. That's what we're here for, isn't it? Oh. Rob's doing a bit of investigating at the water cistern, because he said, oh, that's so old. And he went, imagine how many people it would have made ill, or possibly killed. I was like, yeah, that's the fault, mate. So, yeah, should have some good stuff. And here is where the murders occurred, outside this place. It's a gallery now. In those days it was supposedly a shipyard. Supposedly, but that was the front business of it. Smugglers' gangs. I can mention their name. We're not in Mermaid Street. The Hawkshurst boys had something to do with that one. So we'll walk to the bottom of the street, and we'll walk back up again, and we'll meet Captain Roberto at the church. And where we walked earlier, and I pointed up and said, oh, this is that, we're walking down it now. And I, ladies and gentlemen, am completely on my own. As is Rob with doing his stuff. Right, there we are. No point taking you down to there, because we've been that way, and we're going to go back up. Do you know, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and even still it's weekend though, isn't it? And everyone's enjoying themselves, and why not? Why not? Of course, a steep one this. Flash off. Whew. It's got those railings, no wonder why. Ooh. You can haul your way up, just like I'm doing. Oh, it's a lock-in in there, I think. You have a lot of lock-ins in Rye. We're not by any means old, so I don't think we're saying that, but when we were younger, we went to a good lock-in down here with little Brian. Our Stephen isn't with us now, so he liked his pub, did Stephen. Me and Simon works and runs a pub, so he probably sees enough of them. But yeah, get that flash off. Put that guy down. Nearly trodden dog poo. And it's nice being in the town to have not been literally covered in gnats. Because when we was camping by the sea in the nature reserve, what our American friends call mosquitoes, and we call gnats. Oh, me and poor Rob were just ravaged by them. Utterly ravaged. Which was not fun. That box is £45. That one's £39. That's £23. So I mean, like, and it's all handcrafted stuff, and it isn't really dear. So if you want to have a nice day out, come to Rye, because there's so many shops and they've literally got something of everything and something for everyone. And here's something I've noticed in Rye. They can leave their shop signs out and their awnings down, and unlike London, they don't get ripped the shit out of. Now we're going to see a shop in a minute, which is not cheap. That linen chest or coffer box, he wants £3 for that. Because it's matching, you see. It's 3 of them. They all came from the same house. And he wants £3,000 each. My mate liked one, he was interested in it. I kept him about her because he likes old furniture as well, like me. There's that fucking hell. This is a music shop. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, guys. This little street here is got to be my favourite bit, I think, in the town of Rye. Like this little area and the churchyard and the castle, because you've literally got everything all on the doorstep. And Simon the Pieman is where you will find us in the morning. The boys will have a breakfast and I'll have an English tea. So, night night, guys and girls. Hope you've all enjoyed this. If you have, please give it a like and share. Take care and see you all soon.